For those that don't want to go to college, perhaps, or looking at a fun alternative to going to like a trade school, okay, we're going to talk about the trade school, and we're going to talk about pre-apprenticeship programs for construction, okay, and trades, and building, masonry, stuff like that, okay? So there's one program here that's going to be in Niagara Falls, and there's another program here, a BOCES program. It's an extension of BOCES, right? But it's an adult education program. That's at 6th and Walnut. So these are alternatives, and we're going to have a field trip. You're welcome to come on the field trip to CTI, the Craft Training Institute, on Monday, and you're welcome to come to the field trip on Tuesday to BOCES to find out what it's all about. Okay? Because I know at one time you were interested in trades, right? Yeah? You still going to Auto Tech, ECC?
Oh, yeah.
You still signed up to go there? Okay, so we got Auto Tech, Auto Body. Any particular interest for you? No? Okay, you're perfect for this. All right, gather all that information, all right, bud? Culinary, you're an artist too. Right? Okay. All right, we're good.
All right. So my name is Jim. I'm with the Northland Workforce Training Center. We are located in Buffalo. We are a kind of a new type of college, a new approach. So we try to link folks like yourselves that are looking for skills for sustainable, long-term, hands-on, well-paying careers with that training you need, and then also with the employers in the area that are looking for folks with those skills. So anybody know what's going on with manufacturing right now in Western New York? The third biggest part of our economy. People are retiring in crazy numbers, literally in thousands, year after year. So this is an opportunity for you folks, if you're looking for a career that can, any of the presentations you hear today, you will get a job, okay? These are all solid, established things. But you don't need to have any experience necessarily to start with us. So we actually have 4 programs I'm going to show you today that we do at Northland. Again, if you like to work with your hands, you don't need to know anything about this kind of stuff. Welding, we have a 2-year program in welding where you'll learn the main types of arc welding as well as gas welding. We have a program in machine tool technology, which is operating manual equipment like this lathe. It's spinning a piece of material around a piece of metal, and the student is working at and creating a piece that matches a blueprint design. Patty is showing, again, blueprint design to start with, but she's a 2nd-year student. So as compared to the 1st year where they use manual operations, she is programming this machine using a computer numerical control interface. Basically, that's a fancy computer that operates on a specific language called G-code. Inputs the code step by step, and she will set the material in the vise right here, okay? And then the machine will just go, and it will shape it, and it will create the part in that design based on what she told it to do. Okay. You guys are getting the short version there because we have a lot of presentations, but these are all in-demand careers, specific in machine. Any type of manufacturing needs machinists. So electrical, next program we're going to take a look at. So this is a 2-year program. Like the other 2-year programs, it's through Alfred State College, so you'll get an actual associate's degree. Our 1st-year electrical students learn residential wiring. So setting up fuses, bending conduit, running insulated wire, light fixtures, outlets, grounded outlets, thermostats, thermostat controls. They do it all. They get the foundation of basic wiring in terms of residential capacity. 2nd-year students enter into more specialized areas. They actually use 6 specific pathways. One of those is alarms and hazardous environments. So just kind of more heavy-duty type equipment, where it's not as simple as just flipping a switch on, like there's other sequences. They do a unit on programmable logic controls, a unit on solar panels. They actually set up solar arrays outside the facility. And then we have the last program we're going to talk today about is the mechatronics program. This is a 1-year certificate. It's shorter. It's also up to a SUNY area compared to Alfred State. This is a miniature factory. You're going to see stray wires that are basically electronics that connect sensors to programs. There's motors, there's motors all in here, the robotic arm, those yellow hoses, that's pneumatic lines. It's a very small factory, but basically the idea with the mechatronics program is to break it down. So there's actually, the whole lab space is filled with separate boards. So there's a station that's based on hydraulics, pneumatics, a station that's based on motor control, a station that's based on electrical. Okay. You take those building pieces, you get some familiarity with each of those, and then learn how they all work together. How do you incorporate all those things to make sure a system like that, a full-size system like that, is up and running all the time? So troubleshooting, maintaining. I don't care if you're making cars or you're making happy meal toys. Manufacturing relies on similar processes, similar moving pieces to make things work. So at Northland, you get technical training, you get job placement assistance for 3 years upon graduation. You get career coaching services, so if you need assistance, we've had students from Niagara Falls that we bus to our facility. If you don't have a car or another way to get there, we help people with other issues as they come, whether that's tutoring, maybe something going on in your personal life. Career coaches are there to make sure that this training that you're so interested in, that you're coming to, putting your time and energy in, that you translate that into a new career, which you start anywhere. So I'm not going to take up any more time because we have a lot of stuff to cover, but if you have any questions or would like to learn more, we don't have a physical tour set up, but at the end you can come grab some information, and I'd be happy to set up a Zoom tour, do a one-on-one phone call, and I can walk you through the facility and show you everything you need. Any questions? Is everybody riveted, excited? We got a sugar crash? You guys just saw that, like, candy bars for lunch? No. All right.
How's everybody? Okay? It's okay. It's a good day. My name is Frank. I'm from the Independent Contractors Guild of Western New York. It's a group of contractors who come together. And the reason why we've come together is because we don't have, in our industry, people coming in to the industry to meet the number of people who are going out. So we're short. So that means that there's a ton of jobs out there for persons who come into the construction trades, into the building trade. What we've done is formed a group of contractors who recognize that we have to have people coming in, and our decision was to make them ourselves. So here we are, looking for people like you to show an interest in the trades so that we can continue our business on a day-to-day basis. And that's a beautiful position for you guys to be in, whether it's in the construction field or any field that you choose. Look at the demand for what you want to do, and then make you decide based on that. And so what we're offering is a trade program that allows persons to touch many trades before they can make a decision as to the one they want to go into. It's a pre-apprenticeship program that will be running right here on 56th Street in Niagara Falls, which touches all 17 construction trades, from cement masonry to bricklaying to paving to electrical to framing to heavy equipment operation and so on. Anything that it takes to build will be trained, because our contractors need people. They need people who are young. I got to take this down, I'm sorry. We need younger people who are able to do the work, put in the commitment that it takes to build a career for yourselves, and to be able to sustain the construction industry in this country. Just a little side note, that when I ran a welding school about 15 years ago, we were running out of welders. And I ended up training 20 people from Europe for jobs here in America. That should not be. And I don't see it getting any better right now. So we're looking for persons who have an inkling of an interest in construction to make a long-term career for themselves. So we'll be doing a program here in Niagara Falls that touches on all aspects of construction. For example, if you want to be a carpenter, you'll be touching carpentry for maybe 3 weeks, and then you'll move to HVAC. You'll move to the next trade 3 weeks later. You'll find out what you not only like, but what you're good at. And then you have pathways, and that's the important thing that Jim spoke about. You have pathways to a career. From the pre-apprenticeship program, you can go directly into an apprenticeship program with a sponsored company wrapped around you, where you'll be paid while you learn. Or you can go into employment directly with a member company or any company who has a need for persons with your skill level. Then if you want deeper training in a field that you choose, then we have construction, the Craft Technical Institute program, where you can get more intense training in your field of choice. So there's opportunity for job placement at every stage of the learning process in the construction industry. And the reason why we feel that we're so successful in what we do is because the companies that are wrapped around the program that develop the curriculum are the companies that we match with you for your mentorship into employment. So our companies look for persons who have a commitment. They look for persons who are eager to learn about the industry and to perform on a regular basis in their chosen trade. So, not rocket science, but it's a career where you're always learning. You're always learning. And one of the things that I say about the trades is that it's not an alternative to college. It's your choice of career, because you're always learning. In an apprenticeship program, you're always learning on the job, new techniques, new products, new ways of doing things, and you have to be sharp. So it's not an alternative to college. It's on par. It's your choice as to what you want to do. And so that's what we're offering to everybody here. Just an idea to look at your alternatives, not to be pigeonholed into the normal pathways to the life. Does everybody here know what they want to do in their life? Right now? What do you want to do? You do? Okay. Yeah, we get some of this. Okay. So this is an alternative. Even if you decide to do something outside of the construction field, think about learning a trade. We've all talked about that amongst ourselves today. What an opportunity that you have. You're never out of work if you have a trade, particularly plumbing, HVAC, electrical, because somebody's house always has an issue, and they need people to handle that. I had a student once, and when I teach my students, I know you guys think I'm a nice guy. I'm known to be a very, very tough stickler about the trades. But I teach my students, there's no such thing as a family discount. There's no such thing as a friend discount. And I had a good student in HVAC, and my furnace broke. And it was cold, so I called him. I asked him to give me a price on on my furnace, and he sure enough gave me a price. And I said, anything we can negotiate it. He says, I don't do family, I don't do friends. And guess what? It was cold. I had him fix my furnace. Because I'm not a tradesman. I'm an administrator. So, learn. He made a good living for himself. He started his own business. He did his business in Buffalo for maybe 8 years, and he moved to North Carolina, where air conditioning was all that they did. Very simple, very easy piece of work, and he did very well for himself. So there's an opportunity out here for everybody. And so what we're encouraging everybody to do is think about the trade. Think about the opportunity that's sitting here before you. And if you're interested, see us. Come and talk to us. And we'd be glad to explain to you more about what the field of construction has to offer for you. So our cards and our information is here on the desk. Please take a look at it. If it's not for you, maybe it's for a friend of yours. So keep those things in mind and be able to take this stuff and disseminate it amongst your friends who may be interested in trades as well. Any questions? Any thoughts? No? Okay, we'll be here for you.
Good afternoon. My name is John. I run the adult education programming in Orleans and Iron Bosses. We have a location physically here in Niagara Falls at 6th Street and Walnut Avenue, right behind the post office on Main Street. We offer skilled trades programs in building trades, welding, and machine tools. Many of the things that Jim Northland provides in a 2-year associate's degree program. We offer short, intensive skilled trades programs that are 14 to 15 weeks that are inclusive to get you into the skilled trade, earn the foundational skills, and find you a job. Yesterday we had 5 students graduate from our daytime welding, 1 woman, 4 men. They all got job offers. We have an electrical program in Lockport and an HVAC program in Lockport. We just had 11 people graduate from the HVAC program. They're all getting job offers. We had 5 students graduate from our electrical program. They all have jobs. So what Frank and what Jim have said is all true. Skilled trades, years ago, it was kind of like teaching, as Mr. Dahl maybe knows, that if your parents were teachers, maybe you became a teacher. If your dad was a fireman or a police officer, maybe you got into law enforcement and that kind of work. It was kind of a brotherhood and a family generational thing. That's kind of gone away over the last 25, 30 years because the importance about success has really been focused on college and college only. How many of you are seniors? Any seniors? You're all seniors. Well, congratulations on making it. My youngest daughter's graduating this year too. I know you've had a hard year, so I certainly want to wish you the best as you transition from K-12 school to adulthood. I mean, you're moving into a next phase of your life. You've reached a milestone where you graduated from high school. Maybe you have a plan. We all, I think, had a plan when we graduated from high school. My plan was to actually go to New York City and go to the College of Insurance, but I didn't get accepted. So I ended up going out to a community college in Arizona, and I ended up joining the Navy. And I had a separate path, but I learned some skills in the Navy, but then went back to college. And eventually, 20 years ago, I finished my PhD. So I wouldn't tell you that the college pathway isn't the successful pathway, but we're offering you today alternatives if your certain pathway fades out. Because a lot of the adults that we see in our programs probably are in their mid to late 20s. Maybe they've gone to college, maybe they've had children, maybe they've had a lot of dead-end jobs, and they're looking for an opportunity to change careers. There's a lot of money to be made in skilled trades. I'm telling all our recent graduates, if you put your 5 years into the training that you've gotten from us in the last 3 or 4 months, probably in 5 or 6 years, you'll be making $60,000 to $75,000 a year. And I can tell you, 5 years from now, you look at your classmates, and they'll be just coming out of college. I bet you they're not going to be making $75,000 a year. They're going to have student loan debt. So everybody has a different pathway to get there. It's just you have to decide what that is. And for a lot of people, it's not a straight path. It may wind around. So we have short intensive programs. We also have healthcare programs. We also have evening cosmetology hourly programs, so you can work to get your licensure if you don't get your hours in the BOCES program. You're both in cosmetology, you want to be in cosmetology. So for whatever reason, if you don't finish the hours to get your certification, we offer that in our adult education venue to get those hours, because I think, what, you need 1,000 hours or something like that? Is that what it is? So if you don't make that while in high school, we'll offer that as a continuing education option as well. So we're here really to talk about the short intensive training programs, and everybody finds a job and gets a good paying job that can lead to a lifelong career, either into that trade or maybe entrepreneurial, and you start your own business after 10 years. So I have my colleague with me, Ezra Scott, who's going to talk to you about a youth program, the WIOA youth program that he coordinates and helps young people make the transition from school to work.
But my name is Ezra Scott. As John said, I'm the case manager for the WIOA Level Up Youth Program. Before I really go into detail, I just want to congratulate you all for taking the time to come here. I know it was a decision, and that decision was the first step into you actually planning your future. I've learned that there's two different types of people in life. You know, people who come across information, they stumble across it, dust themselves off, and just keep it moving. But you also have another type that come across information, stumble across it, pick themselves up, dust themselves off, but they also pick it up and actually take a look to assess it and actually analyze the value that it can be to their life, and they apply it. I emphasize that to say these words that these men are sharing with you all, really process that. Process it not only for yourself, to where you can utilize it today, but also maybe 4 or 5 years down the road, but also to share this with your friends and your family members, because a lot of times people miss out on opportunities not being aware of what's out there. Now, this program that I'm doing, the Level Up Youth Program, it's an awesome program. It was an act. It's called the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. It was passed back in 2014 under Joe Biden. And the emphasis of it is to work with 16 to 24-year-olds, because we all have different life challenges and barriers that we may experience. But some of us may have a better or greater support system than others. So our role is to be that support to you, so that you can overcome those challenges and accomplish the dreams and the goals that you have in life. There is an eligibility piece to it. So you have to be between the ages of 16 to 24-year-olds. We work with in-school youth. We also work with out-of-school youth. You have to live in Niagara County, so not just Niagara Falls, but you can be in North Lockport, North Tonawanda. There's also similar programs in Erie County and also throughout the country. You can be a veteran or a spouse of a veteran. You don't get qualified just off of low income. You can be qualified based off of if you were a high school dropout, but none of you are going to drop out, right? Y'all will graduate? Right? Okay. So we're all going to graduate, so we're not going to fall in that category. But if, worst case scenario, you're a high school dropout, pregnant or parenting, basic skills deficient, which means that you're operating under an 8th grade reading level or math level, if you were in the foster care system at any point in time, and there's other ways that you can be qualified. But that makes you eligible for this. Now, the services that we provide is we work with youth on an individual basis. So you may not know what exactly you want to do. You may think you know what you want to do right now, but you may get into a field and you may explore some things and you may find out that's not for me. One of the things Mr. Dawes talked about in one of my last speeches, I made the error and said, you don't have to work a day in your life. But I didn't finish that by saying, when you find what you're passionate about, you don't work a day in your life. Because you have some people that find a career just because of the money, and they end up hating it. They're miserable. I've done that before in my life, where I was doing something just because of the check. I couldn't stand driving to work. Whereas now, I do stuff like this where I work with youth, and I love it, I'm passionate about it. I wake up happy, you know? I was excited to come here to talk to you all today. But we work with youth to help you find out what it is that you want to do, but also not only what you want to do, but what type of high demand and high growth fields are out there. So whenever you earn your certification or you earn your college degree, you're also stepping into a job that's gonna pay you some good money. I don't want you just making minimum wage, is the point. Other supports that we can be to you. So, let's say you have a child. If you have a child, you're paying child care expenses because the child is a responsibility. Say you pay $100 for daycare. We can actually reimburse that expense to you, so that's one less expense that you have to pay. If you have to pay for transportation, we can help reimburse up to $7 per day on a gas card. Everybody drive, or everybody over here have a driver's license? Anybody don't have a driver's license? So if you don't have a driver's license, right, we can help pay for driving school. We can also help pay for you to get, for the driver's license. But if you don't drive, you don't have a car, we can also help pay for your bus pass so that you can get back and forth. So there's a lot of ways that we can be of support to you. When you actually get into a class, whether it's a trade or going to college, we can pay for your supplies, books, writing utensils, things of that nature. If you're going to school for construction, you need steel-toe boots. We can pay for those materials as well. But one of the last things that I feel is very cool about the program, anybody in here working? Or not. So let's go with you right here. How much you make about? Or if you don't want to share, you ain't got to tell us. All right. So let's go. You probably work. So let's say you get paid $10 an hour, right? You get paid $10 an hour. You work 10 hours a week. You would think you're gonna probably make $100 when you get your check, right? But it don't work out like that, do it? Why? Taxes. That's what it is, taxes. So this type of program right here, it's you basically taking advantage of that tax money that you pay out of each check and making that tax money work for you, because we have this cool piece to our program as well, which is we give cash incentives. So when you actually graduate, and if you're in this program, when you walk across that stage, I can go to our business office, contact John, and we can go get a $400 gift card and give it to you, just if you graduate. If you get through this, go into this program, you find employment, you stay on the job for at least 30 days, good attendance, that's another $100 that we can give you for reaching certain milestones. The overall focus of this is for you to reach higher employment, but also to see the development of you in you as far as your professionalism and your soft skills and the skills and ability to maintain employment, right? So when we begin to see measurable skill gains, that's another $200 that we can give you on a gift card. So there's a lot of different ways that we can pay you, and again, give you your tax money that you worked hard for back to you. But that's it. I'm not gonna lecture you because I don't see y'all staring at me. Some of y'all tired of listening to me. But I hope to see y'all next week. We're having a field trip. And again, listen to what these gentlemen said to y'all because they're giving y'all gems. Great information. Thank you, Mr. Doe. Thank you, sir. Did I get it right that time?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay, so next week, we are going to go to the Craft Training Institute. You're welcome to join us. If you're interested, just sign up and then take a permission slip. And also next week, we are going to go to the BOCES Adult Education Center. If you'd like to take a field trip notice and sign up. And also, we've got OSHA training. OSHA training next week on the 27th. Okay, if you're interested in construction or getting any type of certification, it won't hurt you to get it, okay? And also construction math. So, and the other thing we didn't talk about is perhaps this is not for you, okay? Just keep in mind that the Craft Technical Institute, they're going to have classes in Niagara Falls, right over on 56th Street. And also, for BOCES, they're at 6th and Walnut. So, this is more of a community-wide effort to get the word out.